How do we design or redesign the blueprint of our ideal life? Hi, I'm Anika, and this is episode 14 of Rewrite Your Story. I'm really excited about today's episode as I'm going to be sharing a wonderful tool that has helped me immensely on figuring out what I want out of my life and thereby identifying the different aspects or categories of my life that required the changes, and then providing me with the opportunity to design a path to implement habits and changes in each of those categories to finally get the blueprint of the life that I can live and love on my own terms. And I'll be sharing this with you today, the foundations of it, and we'll be covering the various categories that are covered in Lifebook over a 12-part series. So 12 episodes starting from tomorrow, because the Lifebook is divided into 12 categories. Now, I'll give you a brief overview on why 12 categories and also what these categories are so that you can note these down and join me for the upcoming 12 episodes where we tackle each category one by one, taking a deep dive into them. So, Lifebook. Lifebook is the Northstar to rewriting your story. It's the North Star because it provides you with that navigational map or direction from where you are today to where you want to be tomorrow. Literally in every aspect and every category of your life. Now, you may ask or wonder, well, I just want to make some changes in my life. Maybe you want to start a business, or you are already a business owner and you're looking to grow your business, to scale your business, and thereby you want to have some more understanding and learning into the financial aspect of your world so that you can be a better informed decision maker around the financial angles or considerations that need to be made to start the business or to scale your business. Now, while you're right that the financial aspect of your business is where the focus lies with this particular objective of starting or growing a business, the decision or the changes do not happen in isolation with other aspects of your life. Being able to understand and identify what are those gaps in your financial understanding that need to be addressed or fulfilled so that you can be an informed financial decision maker for your business might be connected to several other aspects of your world. The people that you work with, the industry that you work in, the relationships that you have, not just in your workplace, but the relationships that you have outside of your workplace. What are the decisions that you make in your business that impact the financial situation in your personal world? Especially as an entrepreneur or a business owner, this is a critical point to take into consideration. At the same time, when we're talking about gaps in financial learning, it's not sometimes just about the technical understanding, but it's also about the emotional aspects behind it. we sometimes have limiting beliefs, as we spoke about in our last episode, which may hold us back from understanding and making some of those leaps of faith decisions that need to be made, which require us to overcome certain fears. We may have some limiting fears behind the topic of financial understanding, financial abundance, finance creation, finance growth, savings, investments. All of these decisions are driven, again, by how we think and the thoughts that come in our mind, how we react thereby. If we do not address any limiting beliefs that might still hold us back from making those decisions that are bold or courageous for us, all the technical expertise or knowledge that may be gained in the financial arena may not be supportive enough to make that decision. Hence, it is really important to still take a look at every aspect of your life, because change in one category has a domino effect on the others. Change in one category also requires support from the others, because no category of our life works in silo. It is all part of the same picture. Think of it as if we are talking about being the architects of your life, of the design of your life. We are talking about being the authors of rewriting your own story. So if you were writing a book, this is a book on your life. This is a book on the story of your life. There are various characters in this story. There is a particular plot. When you're writing a story, all of the characters in your story are connected to each other in some way. If you make a change to one character in that story, there's going to be support required from the other characters for the change in that character to still fit within the story. There's also going to be probably some impact in the stories of the other characters that need to go through the change so that the overall story makes sense. So you see where I'm going with this. Every aspect of your world is a character in your story. So you can't really make change. It's not really going to work very well if you make a change in one character and do not think about the other characters. Yeah. The degree of impact or connection or relatedness may be different from one category to another, but there will still be some impact. And so they should all be considered, right? So what are these 12 categories that we're going to cover over the next 12 episode series of how to design the blueprint of your ideal life through Lifebook? These 12 categories are 10 categories, which cover 10 aspects of our life: intellectual, health and fitness, emotional, spiritual, social, parenting, your relationships, your character, your career, and your finances. Now you'll see about half of these categories that I've spoken about, which are about your career, which are about your finances, which are about parenting, relationships, and about social. So relationships is about your love relationships, and social is about, all of your other relationships. Now, all of these 5 categories that I've spoken about is literally, they're the roles that you play in society. They are the things that we do. They are the categories by which we present ourselves in the world. Yeah. So they're like extrinsic. So it's about the career, it's about your finances, it's about how you have relationships with other people in your work life or in your social life or your love life, and with your children. The other 5 categories are more about your relationship with yourself, your health and fitness, intellectual, that's your learning, your wisdom, your continuous learning and growth and development. Emotional, that's your mental health. Spiritual, not your religious, but your spiritual connection to the world that we live in, and your character, who you are as a person, right? So these are the 10 categories that we will take a deep dive into in the next coming days. And supporting these 10 categories are 2 very, very critical categories. One being your life vision, and the second being the quality of life. Now, your life vision, you may think is, why do we not start with the life vision and then tackle each category, each of these 10 categories of life underneath this, like a top-down approach? Now, we're not going to do a top-down approach, but more a bottom-down approach. And the reason for that is, if you start with the plot of a story, then you look for the characters to fit that story, and you create those characters accordingly. How about we look at each category of our life instead, look at each character in depth. So look at the character's strengths, look at the character's weaknesses, look at the character's assets, look at the character's gaps that need to be fulfilled. That allows us to unlimit ourselves into each category so that our vision of life can come from a place of opportunity instead of limitation. Can you see how the vision of life can be a lot bigger if we tackled each category of our life one by one, thinking about what would be the ideal version in each? So your ideal health goal, your ideal finance goal, your ideal career goal, and then create the picture of that ideal vision instead of the other way around. So we'll do the 10 categories first, each of them one by one, and then from there, we will create the picture of the life vision, along with the picture of the quality of the life. Now, the quality of the life is the theme or the genre of your story. It is the definition or the expression of happiness of your ideal life. What does that happy picture of your ideal life look like? Under what tone, under what expression, under what quality of life expression? That picture of life that is not just thriving in the way that you see it, is not just surviving in the way that you see it today, perhaps, but in the way that it can be thriving for tomorrow. All right. So over the next 12 days, once again, we're going to cover each of these 10 categories, which cover every aspect of our world externally and internally, one by one, individually in each episode, supported by the 2 critical categories for the life vision that will be created from the 10 categories, and the quality of life, which will give us the colors to rewriting our story. Now, in the description below, you will also find a link to the free masterclass by Jon Butcher. Jon and Missy Butcher are the founders of Lifebook. Jon and Missy are not just personal growth experts who've dedicated their lives to how to design that blueprint of your ideal life, but they've utilized their learnings and their model of Lifebook to become serial entrepreneurs, and together have founded about 19 companies to date. What Lifebook does, what Jon and Missy Butcher have been able to put together is a template which provides a structured approach, empowering its users, people like you and me, to ask those bigger questions, to dream the unlimited, and design the masterpiece of your life. So check out 3 MIQs if you haven't already. We covered it in episode 8. 3 MIQs is a wonderful way to start before you start on the Lifebook, because it allows you to open up your mind and think about the experiences that you want to have out of your world and out of the life that you want to live. It helps you break down all of those learnings and growth opportunities that you want to invest into yourself in order to have the experiences that you want to have in your life, and have them supported with the contributions that you want to make to your personal world and to the world that is around you, with the relationships that you want to build, create, and nurture personally and professionally, leaving behind the legacy of your life. So definitely check out episode 8 on 3 MIQs if you haven't already, before we get started on the Lifebook. And definitely check out the free masterclass by Jon Butcher, which will give you a lot more info into the wisdom and the models, the hacks that go behind designing the blueprint of your life. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow when we get started on our first category of Lifebook, which will be health and fitness, something that we all probably want and aspire towards in the pictures and the blueprints of our ideal lives. See you tomorrow. Until then, take care and stay awesome.